Hello everyone, welcome to my lecture series of electromagnetic fields. We will discuss different theories, phenomena and numerical solution of different cases in this series. I hope this series will give a fruitful outcome to physics scholars or engineering students. Up to the last lecture of this series, we have covered various algebraic operation on vectors and three types of coordinate system, which is Cartesian, cylindrical and spherical system. In this video, we will learn how to transform a vector from Cartesian to cylindrical coordinate system or from cylindrical to Cartesian coordinate system. So let us begin. The transformation of point from one coordinate system to another is quite easy, but for the study of electromagnetics, we often require to calculate operations on the vectors, which are represented in a different coordinate system. At such instances, we need to convert every vector in one particular coordinate system representation, and for that we must know how to transform any vector from one system to another. Now consider a vector a bar in a Cartesian coordinate system as a bar equals to capital AX, AX bar plus capital AY, AY bar plus capital AZ, AZ bar, where capital AX, capital AY and AZ are representing the XYZ coordinates of point A, while AX bar, AY bar and AZ bar represents the direction of X, Y and Z axis respectively. The same vector a bar in a cylindrical coordinate system can be represented as a bar equals to capital AR, AR bar plus A phi, A phi bar plus capital AZ, AZ bar. So here capital AR, A phi and AZ are coordinates, cylindrical coordinates of point A, while small AR bar, A phi bar and AZ bar represents the direction of the cylindrical axis, that is R phi and Z. From the application of dot product, we know that the component of any vector in a particular direction is nothing but the dot product of that vector with a unit vector of that particular direction. We will determine the components of a bar in the directions of AR bar, A phi bar and AZ bar. So press the I button on your screen to review the application of dot product. Now the component of a bar in the direction of AR bar is nothing but the coordinate of A in the direction of R, and it can be written as, so AR is the cylindrical coordinate of vector A. So a bar dot AR bar will give us the value of AR. So we have the representation of a bar in a Cartesian coordinate system. So we will simply write down that representation and we will perform a dot product of the vector with AR bar. Doing so, this capital AX, capital AY and capital AZ being scalar, it will not be considered into the dot product. Only the vector quantities will be taken into the dot product. So it will become AX into bracket AX bar dot AR bar. Here AX bar is a base vector in Cartesian coordinate system and AR bar is a base vector of cylindrical coordinate system. And similarly, we can write second and third term by AY bar dot AR bar plus AZ into AZ bar dot AR bar. And similarly, the components of a bar in the direction of A phi bar and AZ bar can be written as a bar dot A phi bar. So again we will write the same vector in Cartesian system and we will calculate the dot product of it with A phi bar, and doing so we will have a simplified equation as shown. The same procedure will be followed for determining the Z component of vector A in cylindrical system. and finally we get this equation. Now for an instance, we are giving this equation number 1, 2 and 3 because we are going to use these three equations afterwards. Now here ax, ay and az are the coordinates, xyz coordinates of point A, which are known. We just need to find out the direction, or say the angle between x and r direction, y and r direction, z and r direction. Fine. So that we only need to figure out this dot product of base vectors. Fine. So these 9 dot product should be carried out in order to simplify these 3 equations. So let us learn how can we calculate these 9 dot products. So the magnitude of all base vectors will be unity, so only angles between them are required to be determined. Okay. So here I have taken a right-handed Cartesian coordinate system in which a point P having coordinates x, y and z is represented, and these are the projection of P on the principal axis. This yellow dotted line represents the same point in cylindrical coordinate system having coordinates as r, phi and z. Fine. The direction of x, y and z can be represented in this manner. The direction of r, phi and z can be represented into this manner. Now as you can see, this AR bar vector is always parallel to our xy plane. Fine. So we can have the projection on xy plane for the better understanding of the angles. Fine. Here total 9 unit vector, 9 angles between different base vectors should be calculated. So very first was ax bar dot ar bar. So if we want to simplify this dot product, then it will be modulus of ax bar modulus of ar bar, but as both of these are unit vector, so it will always be 1, and then cos theta xr, so the smaller angle between x and r direction. So the magnitude of unit vectors will always be 1. Now the angle between x and r, so as you can see here, the direction of x and direction of r is making an angle phi. So we simply write down here cos phi. So this will turn to be cos phi. Similarly, finding angle between ay bar and ar bar. So this is the direction of ay bar, and we know that ax and ay both are perpendicular direction. So this angle now will be pi by 2 minus phi. So we can write over here modulus of ay bar modulus of ar bar cos pi by 2 minus phi. Now this will be 1, this also will be 1, and this cos pi by 2 minus phi will turn out to be sin phi. So this will be sin phi. Now az bar into ar bar. Now you see az bar is directed vertically, so quite like this. So this will be the direction of az bar, and you can see that az bar makes 90-degree angle with all the remaining vectors or base vectors. Fine, because these 4 base vectors are on xy planes and az bar is vertically oriented. Fine, so it will make 90-degree angle with ax bar, ar bar, ay bar and a phi bar. So if the angle is 90, the dot product will be 0. So az bar dot ar bar will be 0. Similarly, az bar dot a phi bar will be 0. ar bar dot az bar will also be 0 because dot product follows the law of commutation. A phi bar dot az bar will also be 0. Fine. Moving further, now two angles which is still to be visualized is ax bar dot a phi bar. What is the angle between ax and a phi? So as you can see, this angle between ar bar and a phi bar will be 90 degree because these two are the base vector of cylindrical coordinate system. Fine. Now this angle is 90 degree and this angle is pi by 2 minus 90 degree. So the angle between ay bar and a phi bar, that is this angle, can be calculated by 90, that is pi by 2, minus this angle, pi by 2 minus phi. So it will be phi. So we can say that angle between ay bar and a phi bar is nothing but phi, and hence ax bar and a phi bar will make an angle of pi by 2 plus phi, because from x to y the angle is 90 degree and y to phi the angle is phi. So this total angle will be pi by 2 plus phi, and if we calculate the dot product, if we calculate this dot product, then it will be modulus of ax bar modulus of a phi bar cos, the angle is now pi by 2 plus phi, and this will turn out to be 1 into 1. Now cos pi by 2 plus phi, so cos will be turned into sin phi, but this angle will lay into second quadrant, so it will be negative sin phi. Okay, and for ay bar dot a phi bar the angle is simply phi, so the answer will be cos phi. Fine. Here the visualization of angles are very important factor, because once you are clear about what angle each base vector of a Cartesian coordinate system and cylindrical coordinate system are making with each other, you will be more confident to derive this formula on your own. Fine. Otherwise it is also very easy to remember, because in when the numericals are being asked, it is not important whether you know the derivation or not. Fine. The only thing matter is whether you can solve the case or not. Fine. So I will show you a quick summary of all the angles that we have discussed up to this point. So as you can see, the angle between x direction and r direction is phi, and being so, the angle between r and y direction will be 90 minus phi. Similarly, the angle between y and phi direction is phi, and angle between x and phi direction is 90 degree plus phi. So here is a table in which we can show the angle. So pair of unit vectors for the dot product. So this pair is nothing but is taken from the equation 1, 2 and 3 that we have just derived. Fine. Now this will be the angle between x and r, this is the angle between y and r, this is 90 degree angle is between z and r. Fine. And resultant dot product, so ax bar dot ar bar having angle phi, this dot product will result into cos phi. Ay bar dot ar bar having angle 90 degree minus phi, it will result into sin phi. And similarly all 9 dot products have been calculated. Fine. And as you can see, 4 elements are having 0, because at these 4 elements we got 90 degree angle. Fine. So here x and z is also at perpendicular, z and r making the angle of 90 degree, z and phi is also making the angle of 90 degree. So putting these values of dot product in the equation 1, 2 and 3. So this is just for your reference, this table. Fine, and this is our equation 1, 2 and 3. Now we are going to put the value of each and every dot product into these three equations. Fine. So now our equation will become AR, that is R coordinate of point A or vector A is equals to AX cos phi plus AY sin phi plus AZ into 0. Similarly, A phi can be written as AX into minus sin phi plus AY cos phi plus AZ into 0, and AZ can be written as AX into 0 plus AY into 0 plus AZ into 1. Now this vector A in cylindrical coordinate system can be represented after determining the cylindrical coordinates with the help of above equation. So with the help of these three equations, you just find out AR, A phi and AZ, and the vector which was initially represented in a Cartesian coordinate system like this one, it can now be represented in cylindrical coordinate system after using this equation with this form. But if you want to derive a general formula, then we are going to represent these three equations, let us say equation 4, 5 and 6. So we will represent these three equations into matrix form. So these obtained equations can be written in matrix form as AR, A phi, AZ equals to 1 3 cross 3 matrix cos phi sin phi 0 minus sin phi cos phi 0 0 0 1, and another column matrix AX, AY, AZ. Fine, we can directly use this matrix form whenever we are asked to transform a vector from Cartesian coordinate system to cylindrical coordinate system. Fine, here the value of AX, AY and AZ will be known. Fine, we just need to find the angle phi and we'll calculate this 3 cross 3 matrix, and directly we can write the AR, A phi and AZ. Okay. The reverse transformation can also be performed, that is any vector can be transformed from cylindrical to Cartesian coordinate systems as AX, AY, AZ equals to, now we have kept this column matrix as subject, and this 3 cross 3 matrix will goes to left hand side of equal to sign, and doing so it will get inversed. Fine, so the same matrix inverse multiplied by AR, A phi, AZ will give you the reverse transformation. So if the vector is given in cylindrical form, that means AR, A phi and AZ are known, then we can find AX, AY and AZ with the help of this matrix. Or simplifying this inverse, we can have AX, AY, AZ equals to cos phi minus sin phi 0, sin phi cos phi 0 and 0 0 1. Fine, now it is the beauty of this matrix that its inverse is exactly equal to its transpose. So as you can see, the inverse of this matrix is equal to the transpose of this matrix. Fine, here we can complete the discussion of transformation of vector from one to another, but I would like to show you that how this inverse is being equal to the transpose. Okay, so here say our matrix was cos phi sin phi 0 minus sin phi cos phi 0, 0, 0, 1. Now we want to find the inverse of this matrix. So inverse of any matrix is defined as the adjoint of the matrix divided by the determinant of the matrix. We can also further simplify it by the cofactor matrix of M transpose divided by determinant of the matrix. Fine. So to find an inverse, we first need to find the determinant. Now let us find the determinant of this matrix. So determinant can be easily find out by 1. Now we are considering this 1. Fine. So this row and this column will not be taken into consideration, and we will find the determinant of remaining 2 cross 2 matrix. So it will be cos square phi minus sin phi into minus sin phi will be minus sin square phi. Here minus minus will turn out to be plus, so cos square phi plus sin square phi. This is very well known trigonometric identity that sin square phi plus cos square phi will be 1. So determinant of this matrix will be 1. It is very obvious because all the dot product was performed on the base vectors. Fine. So its determinant will also be the unity. Fine. Now finding the adjoint of M. Here one part, the denominator part, has been completed. Now we are trying to find the adjoint of M. So adjoint of M, so first we will calculate the cofactor and then we will take the transpose of it. So cofactor, of this term cos phi will be cos phi into 1 minus 0 into 0. Okay, let me remove this line. So it will be cos phi into 1 minus 0 into 0 will be 0. Cofactor of sin phi, so we will calculate as minus sin phi into 1 minus 0 into 0. So it will be minus sin phi. Cofactor of 0 will be 0. And similarly, finding the cofactor of this matrix, it will be sin phi. This will become cos phi. This will become 0. This will also become 0. This will become 0. And this will become 1. But how 1? It will be cos square phi minus sin square phi, which is nothing but cos square phi plus sin square phi, which results into this one. Okay. So now to find the adjoint, fine, here one rule is there. So wherever you are finding the adjoint of any matrix, fine, you need to change the sign of some element. So if let us R represent the row and J represents the column, fine. So if I plus J gives you even number, then no sign change will be there for that element. But if I plus J gives you an odd number, then sign will change. Okay, so adjoint of M can now be written as transform of this matrix. So cos phi minus sin phi 0, sin phi cos phi 0, 0, 0, 1. Now applying this rule for the sign change, this is element 1, 1. So value of I and J both are 1, and 1 plus 1 is 2, which is even. So for this element sign will not change. this element sin phi is element number 1 2, and 1 plus 2 is 3, which is odd number, so this sign will be changed. Same way here, this is the element 1 3, and 1 plus 3 is 4, so sign will not be changed. This element is 2 1, so the addition of I and j is 3, which is odd number, and so we will have to change the sign. So this negative sin phi will turn out to be positive sin phi. This element is 2 2, 2 plus 2 is 4, so no sign change will be there. This is 2 3, 3 plus 2 is 5, which is odd number, so sign change will be there, but it doesn't matter if we change the sign of 0 from positive to negative. Okay, so again here you will not have any sign change, here you will have the sign change, and here you will not have any sign change. Fine. And for simplicity, you can also remember that if 3 cross 3 matrix is there, then in the adjoint matrix this diamond element will have the sign change. So as you can see, here we got the sign change, here we got the sign change, we got here a sign change, and here. Fine. So this diamond element will have the sign change. So this is nothing but our adjoint matrix. Fine. And now finally M inverse is adjoint of M, which is cos phi minus sin phi 0 sin phi cos phi 0 0 0 1, and determinant of M is 1, so either you show it or do not show it, that does not make any difference. So as you can see here, M inverse is nothing but M transpose. This is very important property of this matrix. Fine. So that's it for today's lecture. Thank you.